I'm 11 years old. This is my first year in middle school. How I would describe myself? I don't know.
I would say Sydney is encouraging,
Bye, Nick.
motivating. He's a leader.
He knows what he wants. He's one of a few unique kids that just have this drive. Bye.
He's kind of a quirky kid, but he's cool with that. You know, a lot of kids spend a lot of time trying to be things that they're not. But Sidney, he's himself, he owns it.
Hey, Roxy. Ever since I was little, I just love to read. I just love listening to different kinds of stories. So when I'm reading a book, I'm usually like zoned into the book. Like I feel like I'm one of the characters in the book sometimes. And once I get hooked in that book, then I'll probably be reading for a while. If I go to like a public library or anything, I'll probably have trouble finding something that I like.
This is a chapter book about amazing Africa.
I realized that there was a need for African American literacy and boys to see themselves in books in a positive way. I wanted to share that with everyone else too.
It was against the law for most Black people.
Books and Bros is a book club where we read about African American literacy. We meet up once a month on the first Sunday of every month to discuss the book that we just read. Statistically, boys are behind in reading, and so we want to combat against that stereotype where boys don't read as much as girls. Hi, Jeffrey.
How you doing, man?
This all started mainly because I surprised him with a visit to ICME, African American Children's Bookstore. And that's when he explained to me, like, Mom, I don't even see books like these in my school library. I don't see any books that represent me in my school library, and that was a problem.
If our children don't see themselves, they want to be something else. The characters that they're reading about, they want to be those characters. They want to have hair like that character, eyes like those characters, skin tone like the characters that they're reading about. So it's really important that our children read books that reflect who they are and their community. I have some history books for you.
We'll usually pick from a genre that we haven't picked already so that the boys won't get tired of reading the same genre over and over again. And actually, these books look very interesting too. Because
Sydney's choosing books and he has to think about all 62 members that he's choosing for. So he's doing a really good job of thinking about all the other boys in the group.
Maybe a historical fiction.
Historical fiction, there's Hidden Figures. I think you guys read Hidden Figures before, right?
Yeah, we've read. I could be in a bookstore for like 2 hours and my mom would be like, are you gonna read all of those? I'm like, no, I just want to pick one that I like. But then like an hour later, I'm still picking out books. When I do go and have like a stack of books of maybe 6 or 5, then I'll probably read the first chapter of each book and then I'll see which one I like the most.
Can we go? You're like 2 chapters in. Like, let's go. Let's get this going.
I just want to read one more chapter. I don't know.
We're in there for a while. It's not like an in and out situation.
Top 2 favorite books, I like the Frederick Douglass and I also like the Walking Go to Birmingham.
So I'll order 62 books for you guys and I'll call you when it comes in.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Some people, they're surprised when I tell them, like, I work for my son.
Hi, my name is Sydney, and my role is head bro in charge, also known as founder and CEO.
Of course, I make sure that he knows, like, Mom's the overall boss, but I do respect him as far as this being his vision.
If you can make the sign-in sheet feel like the name and then like the bro.
Anytime someone calls us for a speaking engagement or any type of business endeavor, you know, I say, this sounds like a good idea, let me run it by Sydney first.
Well,
Oh, God. Oh, Lord. Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. What was the question again?
not many 11-year-olds run a meeting. Usually they're just there. The schedule is going to be, we're first going to do an icebreaker. It's an interesting experience because it's really fun being able to control a whole bunch of 20 and 30-year-olds.
My name is Renell Parker, and I'm a big bro.
Big bros are basically mentors for the bros. We wanted them to see positive African-American men, and also because they help out a lot with the book club, with keeping the boys under control. Some of the kids who joined, their parents signed them up, and so they weren't excited about it. But when they actually got into the book club, they ended up having a great time, and they would actually read the book.
Even drew larger crowds.
We would discuss them.
Harriet Tubman was a tremendous fighter.
And they would be able to even talk about them with the fellow bros.
That's why Harriet Tubman was able to run the...
And what they liked or what they didn't like or how they improved the book.
So in the mid-1860s, most professional baseball teams had only white ball players. I thought this whole concept is dope because a lot of kids try to be other things than their authentic selves, you know, and so I think it's really cool just to come out and say reading is cool.
But that is just another tall tale.
And to set a platform for kids to come in if they're comfortable reading and be surrounded by like-minded kids, I think is going to lay a great foundation for them as they grow older.
I thought it would get this big, but not this soon.
This is the next book that we're going to be reading.
It's only been a year, and it's just really fun and cool thinking about how fast it's grown.
All the big bros, you can find the questions on page 109 in the book.
I'm super proud of him. Words really can't even describe how proud I am.
We were going to ask you if you're finished answering 5 questions yet.
Oh yeah, we did.
Okay, cool. Okay,
He's found a way to balance the growth of his business.
We'll start from over here.
And still be a kid.
I ruined it.
Still be a good friend, a great son. I would say the sky's the limit, and I don't even want to say the sky's the limit because he's into space, so he may just go out of this universe somewhere.
I do really feel like I'm making a positive impact in my community because all the boys are having such a good time in my book club. I see all smiles on their faces. I really feel like I'm making reading fun again.
Go Browns, read!